így, most elvileg már hallanod kellene.
Picit, ha arrébb teszem. Így jó. Tökéletes. think we let's start. Dear Vice-Rector, dear President, dear professors, dear presenters, dear participants. It is a great honor for me to welcome to speakers and participants of Agria Média 2025, the ICEI 18 International and Educational Technology Conference, and the International Council for Educational Media Conference. Allow me to highlight the significance of our conference with a few historical moments. The Agria Média Conference was first organized in 1992 and has since enjoyed a long and rich history. We are especially delighted that for 17 years now, we have been able to organize this prestigious event in partnership with Delta University of Science and Technology. It is a great honor that you have accepted our invitation again this year and are enriching our conference with your presence. Our institution has an even older and closer professional relationship with the ICEM, International Educational Media Council. As a result of this collaboration, our university is hosting their international conference for the fourth time. We are deeply grateful for your trust and sincerely wish that you feel at home, inspired, and productive during your time with us this year as well. This is the 15th Agria Média Conference. Its main goal has always been to offer a methodological toolkit based on the technological progress of the era, facilitating the renewal of education, the continuous enrichment of pedagogical practice, and the expansion of scientific dialogue. The event has always placed great emphasis on providing a platform for presenting the latest research, innovative solutions, and methodological procedures. Public collections are an important part of educational development, so developers and leaders of libraries, museums, and digital archives are regular participants at our conference. Looking back at the motto of 1994 conference, new challenges in the development, distribution, and use of educational tools, we see that its message remains relevant today. Even after more than 3 decades, we are still facing a series of challenges, and perhaps it has never been more urgent to study them scientifically and find appropriate answers. Meanwhile, the world's economic, social, and technological transformations have brought us to the onset of a new era. While the processes of the fourth industrial revolution are not yet complete, we are already discussing the emergence of the fifth industrial revolution. This shift involves not only technological innovations, but also new ways of thinking, new types of collaborations, and new scientific questions. This realization inspired the motto for this year's conference, which serves as a compass for our shared thinking, research, and discussions ahead. Education 5.0, the harmony of humanity and technology. In response to the new challenges of recent years, we organized our first virtual session in 2017. Since then, it has become natural for scientific forum to take place in hybrid form. Following this practice, this conference also features several online presentations, enabling a representative of domestic and international institutions to join us. At this point, I would like to especially welcome the head of our co-organizing institution, Director of Delta University for Science and Technology, Professor Dr. Yehia Mashad, who is joining our event online this year. We also warmly welcome Professor Maria José Loureiro, President of ICEM, and I would like to thank Csaba Komló, Vice President of ICEM, for his tireless work in making this joint conference possible. It is a great honor for us that your presence strengthens the professional prestige and international significance of our conference. We were also pleasantly surprised that more than 80% of speakers choose to attend in person. It is particular honor for us, the plenary speakers from several countries, such as Portugal, the United States, Germany, and Croatia, are participating in person at our conference. The main organizer of the event is the Institute of Digital Technology at Eszterházy Károly Catholic University, which has been part of the Faculty of Informatics since 2020, but continues to maintain a close relationship with the Faculty of Pedagogy. At this conference excellently demonstrates. We would also like to thank Dean Zoltán Szűcs for his support and our colleagues for their active cooperation. Duality is a defining phenomenon of our times, appearing in many areas of life. This refers not only to the simultaneously existence of online and in-person platforms, but also to the diversity among the physical spaces of our university, as several campuses serve the purposes of educational and scientific life. This diversity is reflected in the organization of the conference as well. The morning plenary sessions are held in the prestige chapel of Líceum, while the afternoon session presentations and informal professional discussions take place in the C and C Stars buildings on Lányka Street. The rapid pace of technological development and its increasing complexity continually pose new challenges to digital education. I am convinced that this conference will make a valuable contribution to the work of researchers and educators who are seeking solutions to harness the latest technological opportunities for the benefits of education. We are now witness of the official opening of the conference. After the greetings, we will follow plenary presentations that showcase different aspects of digital competence. Over the next 2 days, we will hear a presentation on such topics as Education 5.0, Artificial Intelligence in Education, Current Issues in Digital Competence Development, a shift in perspective in public collection practice, digital ecosystems, just to mention a few of the most popular topics among the submissions. In terms of members, most presentations were submitted to the Artificial Intelligence in Education sections, but interesting talks await us in all the other sections as well. While in the previous conference, the section on aspects of artificial intelligence was considered a novelty, this conference is already seeking answers and exploring opportunities for collaborative work across the entire spectrum of education and in social life. Over the next 2 days, speakers will present their latest research finding in 20 sections with 90 presentations. Before the plenary presentations begin, I would first like to invite Dr. Tibor Juhász, Vice-Rector, representing the university, to welcome the conference participants.
Thank you very much. Dear guests, dear colleagues, dear friends, on behalf of Rector Ilona Pajtókné-Tari and the management of Eszterházy Károly Catholic University, I would like to warmly welcome you to the conference Agria Média 2025 and ICI 18. I also greet those who are following us online. Those who came in person could see a banner at the entrance of this building with the inscription Heritage, Value and Future. This banner was put there about a year ago when our institution celebrated its 250th anniversary, and more precisely, the fact that for 250 years, in a nationally unique way, in this building erected for the purpose of a higher education institution, continuous and ever-expanding higher education work has been taking place. Nevertheless, these three words, heritage, value and future, can also be felt by this conference as its own. This conference has been going on since 1992, essentially since the change of regime in Hungary, making it a significant part of the contemporary history of our institution. The basic idea is brilliant, a combination of the tradition and heritage accumulated in teacher training with the opportunities offered by modern technology. It was a good insight that a large-scale technological development was about to begin, but I would be curious to know what experienced college at that time too about what opportunities we would have in 33 years' time and what challenges we would have to face now. When was Web 2.0 already visible? When was the spread of smartphones or artificial intelligence already visible? By leafing through the literature of the conference, I mean the proceedings and the brochures, we get an accurate picture of these events as well as how our institution reflected on all this, how we can capture this huge technologically induced storm in the sails of the ship of education. From the program offerings, we can also see how new colleagues came into the picture and then, unfortunately, someone is no longer there. This conference knows about us a lot. We have already experienced a lot of joys and sorrows together. Along with technology, we have also developed at a great pace. We started as a teacher training college, then we became a college in general, a university in 2016, and a Catholic university in 2021. This conference, which spans the ages, is not a preservation of the college traditions, but a clearly visible sign of the intention of the college to become a university. We can also say that the institution grew up to this conference. Finally, I would like to thank those who dreamed up this conference at that time, who organized it again and again every 2 or 3 years, to my colleagues who are organizing it now, and thank you who came and shared your knowledge for the benefit of all of us. Wishing you a fruitful meeting and joyful moments. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Vice-Rector, for your welcoming remarks. I would like to invite the President of ICEM, Professor José Loureiro, to greet the participants.
Dear Vice-Rector, dear chairs, dear professors, dear colleagues, dear students, dear presenters, dear ICEM colleagues, dear Csabakomló, dear online participants, Jó napot, good morning. It is for me a very big and enormous pleasure to be here in Eger for the third time in this occasion, in this conference that brings together Agria Média conference, the International Conference on Information, and our International Council for Educational Media annual conference. For ICEM, it is a great celebration because ICEM was created in 1950, so we count now 75 years of existence. It is a great occasion for us. One of this year's subjects for this conference is artificial intelligence. Everybody was speaking about artificial intelligence, technology, the digital, and the balance between AI and human interaction. I think this is one of the main challenges, one of the main issues, one of the main challenge that we are facing nowadays. And the effects of the digital and AI in our society and in youth generation. We live in a time of great change. Technology is everywhere in our homes, our schools, our jobs. Artificial intelligence brings the most powerful tools that we have nowadays. It helps medicine, it helps environment, it helps students to learn better, to autonomous learning. It helps to protect the environment. AI can achieve incredible things and it brings many benefits to our world. But not everything is this way. Many young people are suffering, and also adults are suffering for spending too much time online in front of screens. And we can say that nowadays there are some people suffering of some isolation, of some screen loneliness, and phones, computers, and tablets have a lot in that subject. They communicate less face to face. They find it harder to express feelings, to listen, to understand others. This can lead to the loss of empathy, less resilience, and more loneliness, as I said. Some have even feel disconnected from real life, and in a time where communication was never before so easy. So interconnection between people is contradictory, more difficult nowadays, and in our society, people are distracted a little bit from each other due to the attention that they pay to the screens, while connectivity was never more accessible, and genuine human connection is ambiguous, is becoming more ambiguous. So we must interrogate ourselves if we are losing something, if we are losing some humanity or some humanistic values. So I think that education plays a big role in this issue. Schools and teachers must help students not only to learn facts, but also to learn dialogue, to learn how to talk to each other, to learn how to interact in a human-based values. We need to teach communication, empathy, teamwork, collaboration, and emotional strength. We must help young people to use technology wisely, not as a way to escape, but as a way to grow. Education must provide an equilibrium between the digital and the personal. It must prepare students for the future with AI, but also help them stay connected to people, connected to others, connected to values, and connected to themselves. Education has to fight against the dehumanization tendencies of the technological immersion. Let's use technology to build a better world, but let's us never forget what makes us truly human. Future has to be defined not only by the machines, by what the machines can do, but by what humans decide with the machines to become and to choose what they want to do with AI. The conference has a very rich program. I wish you a very helpful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, President, for your welcoming remarks. I would like to invite our partner, the Rector of Delta University for Science and Technology, Professor Dr. Yehia Mashad, to greet the participant and then deliver his plenary presentation. After the greetings, the stage will be handed over to professionals. I hereby invite Csaba Komló, Vice President of ICEM, to lead the plenary session.
Can I go? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning. We heard you.
Okay. Dear Rector, Vice-Rectors, distinguished speakers, esteemed guests, colleagues, friends, a very good morning from Egypt. I would like first to be sure that you hear me. Good? Okay, very good. Okay, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks and happiness for inviting me to share these activities of the ICI 18 today at your esteemed university at Eger, Hungary, in which we will highlight the latest advancement in the emerging technology, notably AI, and its impact on society in general and on education in particular. We were witness with our dear colleagues at Eszterházy and the Open University of Malaysia for many waves of technology which impacted the education system through the past. You corrected me, I thought 25 years, but it's now more than 30 years, from the ICI 2 to the ICI 18 today, due to the advancement of the ICT from the hardware point of view or the software point of view or the new emerging virtual reality and augmented reality, which improved the environmental of the subject. This has been reflected to the online platform that allowed the delivery of an efficient online education that responds to the special needs of each learner. This has helped the education institution to overcome the coronavirus pandemic and the school closure. Today, we stand together celebrating a long-standing and fruitful partnership that began in the year 2000, even 1 year before, between Delta University and Eszterházy Károly University. This collaboration has successfully achieved valued goals of fostering culture and academic mobility and the exchange of student, faculty member, and administrator over the years. Our academic journey has expanded with the valued inclusion of the OUM University in Malaysia throughout previous edition of the ICI. We have explored the various varieties of impactful themes that is aligned with the emerging trend at each time. We started from the concept of quality assurance, the pedagogical theory. Then came a period of 4 or 5 years about the digital signature as a passport to the EU at this time. And then we came to e-learning and ubiquitous learning and unlimited learning. This may perhaps have taken 3 or 4 sessions from the ICI. These topics reflect our shared commitment to face the new revolution of AI. As my esteemed speaker has mentioned now, this huge impact of AI on everything. We cannot be isolated from it. We are going to prepare graduate to work with AI in industry, in restaurant, in everything. So what are we going to do with our education system? Are we going to wait? If there will be a difference between countries, we have to think. There are some examples that have been emerged since some years. Example like Coursera or something who started differentiated learning or personalized learning. People started to think about decreasing the contact hour of the student, the number of the hours the student came, and even there was some theory about that. The IOM of Malaysia have raised at that time. We have to keep minimum on 25% as face-to-face learning. Even if you are working online learning or e-learning, we have to keep at least 25% of face-to-face, and the other will be for online. Allow me to extend my heartfelt gratitude and recognition to all those who have nurtured and sustained this human and academic bond over the past 25 years. A special thanks goes to all the leaders, rectors, vice-rectors, dean of Eszterházy Károly College. If I can only mention some of them, from Professor Ivazan from the perhaps 2000, Professor Zoltan Hauser, Professor Liptai Kalman, and we are very honored today to meet Rector Ilona Bachuk, and I wish you a very successful, and I hope we can extend our cooperation. Especially, we were lucky together to work. We were of good luck for both of us. Delta University, when it started in 1996, it was only one university. Now it is a group of 3 universities having more than 120 students. A 3 higher education university situated in the north, south, and middle of Egypt, together with the previous institution of Delta, which were in Mansoura, the global, perhaps Delta is considered one of the first private university in Egypt now. Today it has been announced the QS rankings. We are among the 5,000 universities. On the Arab region ranking, we are number 10. And also Eszterházy, when it started, I was witness of many renovation and extension. So we brought luck for each of us. So we would like to keep this very good relation. I have a special thanks to all the team who worked with us, especially Professor Peter Antal and all his colleagues. Through his dedication, his sincerity has kept this commitment and this relation to continue all this time. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very pleasant and fruitful discussion, and looking forward to receive you in the upcoming edition of the ICI in Egypt. Thank you very much, and have a very nice day.
Shukran, Professor. And I would like to ask you, are you ready with your presentation now?
Yes, I can go for it. Yes. Can I start?
Yes, the stage is yours.
Okay. Do you see it?
Not yet.
Okay. Now?
No.
I tried to share it. Is it shared?
No, it's not.
It's not shared. What to do? I have to go back again to... yes, I'm share. Yeah, sorry. I didn't make share. And no. I think this one. It comes?
Yes.
I hope so. Okay.
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Okay. Good morning. I'm very pleased to be with you today to discuss and put in front of you and think together about what we are going to do with this revolution of AI and its impact on education. So we try to discuss together, perhaps we have to think about involving AI in integrating, but on the strategic level, we have to look again to the curricula, to the academic integrity, and embrace its change thoughtfully. We have to rethink about pedagogical and assessment approaches, the classical approach we are doing now. We have to, because we are going to allow students to use ChatGPT, etc., for answering even final exam, even assessment. So what will be the kind of assessment? What will be the kind of exam that is suitable to the era of AI? We have, I feel this, it will be a revolution because we are going to break down all the Bloom taxonomy, all the pedagogical aspect of the student outcomes, the intended learning outcomes of the student. It has to be reshaped to cope with the available technology. Higher education institutions now are facing mounting pressure for, especially in the developed country, we have increased student diversity. We have different type of university in Egypt now. We have state university, private university, national university, technological university, branch campus for international. We have diversity of education. Some country in Europe, especially our colleague in UK, start to face a lot of problem when the missionary students come from the Gulf area of the Arab countries have been reduced, and the budget of this university was relying more than 80% on this number of students. So there is a budget constraint now. There is a rising expectation for personalized learning for the student, not a model that suits all, but it's a tailored curricula. It's not a fixed curricula. We are going to do it for one. I just last night thought about that. Our fixed hard copy curricula, it is changing from one student to another. It will change from year to year. So are we going to adopt a flexible curricula, or will be an output-based curricula? We cannot be isolated from the world. AI now is introducing in more than 90% of the industry. Look to the retail industry or the online delivery now. Even from Egypt now, I can buy a car from Hungary, from Egypt, direct through the internet, which was impossible to do it before. We have to go bus by very routine system. So we are preparing graduates to work in a new era. So it will not be the same system. So it is revolutionizing the way we teach. You know, when we started, for example, quality in 2000 in Egypt, so the question was that professor teach what they know, not teach what is required to teach. But now what we are going to do with learner, the student now feel that they are more knowledgeable about the technology rather than their professor. And then sometimes it is a fact. They are fast learners, learner. They learn it very early. So we have to change our way of teaching. We have to learn our way of putting exam. How can we going to assess the student? On my age, I joined the university in 1970. And at this time, we have what is called open book exam. I can come to the exam with 5 books with me, and I cannot cheat anything because nothing in the books I can pick it and put on in the exam paper. It was almost a design problem. I remember one of the exams was to design an aircraft that flight at 30,000 feet and give a thrust like this. I started to think, no student will answer the same way as the other student. So we have to think about, I will explain later the Bloom taxonomy pyramid, which is completely changing now. We end by creativity, but now perhaps we'll put creativity in front of us in teaching, give open-ended questions. I refer to the technologies that can simulate human interaction and decide which may include, this may include natural language processing, machine language, image recognition. It will help a teacher to adjust the lesson to meet each student needs, ensuring effective learner at their own pace. We got in my school where we have contracted with Coursera since 3 years now. It was very successful because student can choose the mission he would like to practice in the future. I would like to be a Python coder or programmer or a web design developer. So he will pass a test and data analytic will start to analyze its weak and powerful point and decide to him the track, how to become after 4 or 5 courses, how to become and have a recognized diploma to practice the mission internationally, the mission of programmer or coder, etc. This was very successful. Some of the students perhaps got in 1 year about 8,000 certificates, and some has got only 13. So this encompasses the diversity of the student and encourage the elite student to continue its career. With this innovation, some significant challenge and ethical consideration, as Professor has mentioned now, very summarized, she said, yes, we have to use AI, but how to keep the very important issue of communication skill and make teams, work in a team, together, critical thinking. These are 3 main competencies we have to keep in our curriculum. It's just a general view about the relationship between deep learning and the machine learning at a higher level and the AI, which encompass all this category. This is an example of the most popular generative AI tools. I think last week ChatGPT-5 has been launched, but most of us allow the student now to choose Copilot or ChatGPT-4. This also image with us in the ICI. We started from the pre-digital area in the 90s, late 90s, one size fits all teaching. We use textbook, limited feedback from the student, but this was the crowded class lectures. Then pedagogical start to speak about the learning curve, because we do pre-test, we do post-test. Some of the students are slow learners, some are fast learner. So why to keep the fast learner go behind the slow learner? So we start to think about differentiated learning. So adjust the curricula for each. This I have realized in one vocational classroom, which I realized after consulting and visiting many vocational training institutes in Hungary. This was about, how you call it, a cabinet for education. Want to learn CNC machine, want to learn AutoCAD, want to learn PLC, for example, and the student make turns when he finishes this station, a different station. And what we call it in OSCE and OSCE exams now, it is a station. Student will take their station with certain objective or intended learning outcome, and student may turn around this. It's not the classical fixed classroom, which is box education to learn on the blackboard, but is routine, and the student by his own start to do mini project. Then we started the e-learning, the MOOC, which is extended for a very long time. Then starts the LMS system, from which we can have question bank. We have, you know, with Moodle, for example, we have faced a lot of problems and witnessed many advanced what type of object to include in your presentation on your topic, and how you manage the delivery by week or by chapter or etc. How to correct the assignment, how to think correctly about essay question, and there was many debate in this direction. And then we came to the personalized learning. In front of me, I witnessed the experience of Coursera, and now we are speaking about many of my students in Delta University has got their PhD on visual reality and augmented reality, which helped a lot in the labs now. Instead of having many experiments, perhaps you can have some hardware lab, and then make simulation with visual reality for the other skills. Is the interaction. AI is important. As we said, we have diverse student needs. You know, for example, we have some students come from the Gulf area. They are very weak in English and very weak in mathematics. Students come now in the health science school, very weak in biology. For 1 year, I have almost 95% was failed in the exam. So I start to think what to do. The main problem was they don't know English, and teaching is in English, exam is in English. So the first thing we have to make what is called a foundation year or preparatory course. Now I have some tests in English, in math, in physics, in biology, in chemistry, depending on the school. There's different sectors of education. They need some preparation before coming. So this student cannot take biology 1 because they know nothing. They have to take biology 0. So in this system, he can accommodate the diverse student need. We have smart assessment. I was on a visit in the University of Toronto when we started the Faculty of Medicine. So I was astonished about their system of assessment. They have continuous assessment every week on a certain topic. And for each 3 weeks, they have a comprehensive test like this. So all the time, the students are, I don't say under tension, but they test, and yes, they make feedback. If he realized that some of the students didn't understand these topics of pathology or anatomy or something, so he will make remedies in this week, give him additional lessons, and then come again to continue. This I have seen this perhaps in, I don't remember exactly, in 2019. We have a lot of work in control when how to correct the students' grades, the midterms, the assignments, etc. So this will be how to make the quality assurance requirement. I have with me my colleague, Dr. Magda, who is the Dean of Artificial Intelligence School, and Dr. Noah is the Vice Dean. So we have made a system for collecting the evidence of the quality assurance with AI rather than to do it through regular visit with paper and consult the documentation or make meeting with the responsible to be sure of the evidence that reflect that the criteria has been realized. So we have done a system through AI. We just, the questionnaire of the student, we have to enter the result. The result of the midterm, we introduce in the system. And on the other hand, I have the criteria, the 12 criteria of the efficiency of the education system or the institution efficiency. So the system will collect the evidence for ensuring the criteria. So we start to introduce AI to do a lot of the tedious work that perhaps sometimes take more than 70% of the faculty time. Accessibility for each one and inclusion for each one. Enhancing research capabilities. But also we are facing a lot of problem now with some of the professors perhaps got on the 2% all over the world. He can do 200 papers in 1 year. I don't know how he can do it, but we are facing a lot of problems in this direction because now with AI, you just enter some specifications so you have the article free from plagiarism, free from everything, and share the other collection of papers. So 5 will do 5 papers instead of write the 5 names on the same paper, but 5 will do different 5 papers. So with AI, he have to discover himself also. The virtual classroom, as I said, have reduced the need of buying a very sophisticated equipment. Academic career guidance decide upon, the curricula of artificial intelligence, the computer science faculty is introduced in Egypt since 1996, but they didn't provide graduates able of very limited number able of coding or making a database very efficient or providing integrated solution to some specific problem, because the initial wave of teachers, they were not graduate from computer science school. They are like me from engineering and some other from science, etc. They don't have the basic, the essential of computing. So a test has been carried out in Egypt. The government was in need for 11,000 graduates to work for computer security and information policy. So we have an international exam. I think 30,000 graduates enter the exam. Only 11 of them has passed the exam. 11 out of the 30,000. So we thought about our curricula, this new curricula I have shared with my colleague to make it. Every semester, we have project-based education. The student is teaching C or C++ in this semester, or object-oriented, for example. So by the end of the semester, he must be able to write a code. Next semester, he's taking database. So he must write a hospital information system or any system to reflect, give us a product. I always ask the student, give us a sample of your work. You don't just look to the transparent, but show me how your knowledge and skills helped you in solving a problem. So this is a type of teaching. Most of the faculty of the health science school now are based on what we call BBL or CBL or TBL. It's a problem-based learning or case-based learning. So with evidence. So I don't ask the medical students school to draw the cardiovascular system, for example. No, I just a case. A patient, 52 years, came to you, he's suffering from this, and this. So start the physician use his logic to diagnose, or use AI to help him diagnosing after give suggestion to some question to clarify the correct choice of answer. This is what we have to think about. Are we going to still work with this pyramid, or we have to change it? We have to decrease the height for each step. Now, creativity is essential, analysis. So the challenge in front of us now, we must have a flexible curricula. The policy, I have in my university 67 policy. We have to reinvestigate the policy. Every student who cheat or try to cheat must do this and this. So what's cheating? We have to redefine cheating, for example. So how to preserve academic integrity and allow also the use of AI, the ethical value of this, the concern that we are going In Egypt, I think in every country they have put a strategic plan for AI, what to do and what not to do. As the professor mentioned now, she mentioned 3 core curricula. This is the skill needed by 2020. She talked about creative thinking, communication skills, which is very important, critical think creativity. You know, it's a wave now in the university, which is the CDGs. They have to fulfill, our curriculum must fulfill the requirement of the strategic, sustainable goal of the United Nations. So every course must share or must have an impact on fulfilling the sustainable development goals. So one of them is entrepreneurship. We have to prepare students for the entrepreneurship. So this issue must be very important to work with group and think about feasibility studies, about marketing, about these things. All these phases, we have people say that, as it has been said in the beginning of 1980, when automation came, people were afraid automation will reduce the labor market, will yield to unemployment. At this time, our teacher has shown to us, no, we don't, it will not make unemployment, but it is going to move the human from one place to another, from blue coat to white coat, from having very heavy and very dangerous work media to more suitable, intelligent work field. So who is going to make the AI? Who is going to make the program? So it's required some other type of work for us. So we have to think about the curriculum. The instruction support, we have to admit to use the VAR technology. How to make data analytic after each test and decide upon the learner as the learning plan for each learner. These are all different things. I tried to gather many, but we are going. I thought to make a conference next year to discuss the implication of AI on 5 things and to make room for each group to sit down together and see the implication on health and economy and energy and in industry as well, and see this implication. But we are concerned with the shape of education with the in the era of AI. Are we going to admit it in the exam or not? This is a global leader in this area. I think most of you know it. For example, I remember that MIT since 1990, they were pioneer, Stanford as well, pioneer in this direction when they make MIT open courseware. MIT open courseware. They provide complete course from the beginning to the assessment and they make it available. Any professor go inside the teaching class and write anything on the board, it will be stored and available for his colleague to use it. This perhaps more than 15 to 20 years now. As this period was more than 65,000 courses available. So the idea is changing. Not everyone will keep his knowledge, but just through the knowledge and give the people the freedom to choose what they need from what is available. It make many through task automation, real-time insight. We reduced the administrative work of the teacher, so give him more time to focus on mentorship, work as mentor, as coach, as meet time, creative lesson planning, and student interaction. In Delta, we have made some trial. we have made some personalized learning system based on the machine learning linear program. This has been done by professor from the Faculty of Artificial Intelligence but by the student themselves. Now we have AI tutor available 24/7. We are facing a lot of problem with our academic advisor because they don't consult, they don't choose properly the course of the student, and this may result in delaying the graduation of student for a limited time. Now it will be done automatically by the system and no place for the lazy academic advisor now. Automated assessment, if you remember all, we can correct, so marker the MCQ, can put constraints of isolating the PC for entering and having information from the internet, have the transponder to avoid any help from the outside. Now we were unable to correct the essay question, so there some effort has been done through keywords to correct the essay question as well. The meta-analytic analysis to see if there is a common lack for a certain skill, we have to revise it again, or some of students need some special feedback to go to the, because this course is a prerequisite for another course, so we have to have it. The virtual classroom, we have many have got their PhD from the health science school, and this direction she can emulate an operation exactly for getting a paper or something. Through the VAR, she is going to move in the classroom and live in the subject-based environment exactly through the we have, after applying Coursera system aided by some of our initials, in Egypt now, Delta University is the first university for accepting students. The number one for all, we have more than 120 universities in Egypt. Delta this year, last year we were the third. This year we have accepted, I think, 13,000 students, and this is a maximum number among the state and the private university. We have very good retention. We have a better graduation rate, satisfaction from the student. Even we let them pass foundation test or foundation year, but this has been reflected for their success, so they accepted the system. A lot of concern now, is AI going to replace humans? The same thing that happened with automation. The data privacy is very an important issue. So I also remember an issue in 2003, I'm sorry to be long with you, but in 2003 I was in George Washington University. At this time, the Egyptian government has bought the e-government, one of the first countries that has invested of having the e-government. So they said at this time, Egypt is in need of 30,000 computer security and information policy experts if they have this system. How to ensure that will be hacking on the bank, hacking on the blood, because the medical record of the patient, or the medical, or the mark record of the student in an university, the aspect of security, how to ensure the safety of the data available. They said Egypt is in need in 2003 in 30,000 experts. How many they have now? The expert says they have 7, and they are working in the intellectual council of the government. Until this time, we are facing a big problem also for the computer security and the information policy. So every institution try its own best to have some private cloud story and make redundancy of their data to ensure not to lose their data. Ethics and governance, I spoke about data privacy. Yes, we collect the data, we use it to storage retention in private. This is a map people suggest for the introduction of AI until 2030, where we reach neural interfacing learning. This is a different experiment we do in Delta with the project to have a smart attendance system. One also of the main problem was our student. I studied in France, so I learned there that a student must attend the lecture. If the student didn't attend, succeed, this is a failure of our education system. So I'm very worried about the attendance of the student. So with this fingerprint in the classroom, we'll make the RD system. So students have make a Wi-Fi system that allow to take the presence of the student, and it's linked with the LMS system directly. So after 3 time of absence, he got a warning not to enter. Well, as I said about the quality assurance system, it's a very tedious work. So this can be done automatically by the AI. I thank you very much for your patience and for hearing me. Thank you very much.
شكرا جزيلا قناة معرفة مالتان Professor. And my pleasure is to announce our friends from ICEM, Anita Stang, CEO of Media NLB, member of the ICEM board, Gottfried Reinspreger, Media NLB's head of innovation, Johannes Schmid, Media NLB's head of editorial department. The title of their presentation is Makerspace Equipment for School. So the stage is yours.
Thanks.
So good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Anita, and I'm also very happy about the presentation before from Professor Mashad, because this is a theory he gave us, and now we go to the practice. And I want to speak with you about maker spaces. These are the places where I think the skills he spoke about before we should learn for the next years: creativity, critical coding, and so on. And we can learn this, I think, perfectly in maker spaces. Do you have a maker space in your school or in your university? Yes, I'm sure. I know this maker space. Is there anyone else? So maybe I should define a room. What is a maker space? In Germany, it also starts just 2 years ago. And they decided we have to prepare the students more for the next generations. And you know, it's on the agenda of UNESCO to prepare the students. And I think we have to change our mind. We have to give the students more room to be more creative. And one idea is to build up maker spaces. And they started 2 years ago in Germany. I'm sure in different countries they are. I'm sure you have a lot of maker spaces in America. So I'm sure all of you have visited a space where you can work and learn. And I just have some examples here for maker spaces. So I told you 2 years ago in Germany it starts, and we have a nice system in Germany. We have 16 countries, you know, but we have 500 media centers. The media centers are there to give courses to the teachers and to the students, and they now changed their rule, and they now become all maker spaces, so that students and teachers can go there and learn about the new techniques. And that's very important because you need a space where you can use these things. You find your own ideas and try it without mistakes, because mistakes are always good. You just can learn when you make mistakes. So we visited all the makerspaces in Germany. So if you have any questions to build up a makerspace, just contact us. There was a very good book in Germany. There were a lot of books about makerspace, but my favorite book is this one, Makerspace, Tips and Hints to Build Up an Own Makerspace. And today I want to invite you to see some kind of things in a makerspace so that you get a little bit appetite to do something in these makerspaces. So let's start. So we have 3 areas of makerspaces. First area is media space. I'm sure you know. You make videos, you make pictures. Yesterday we had a workshop with Saba to make lovely old pictures. Then there's a part makerspace. There you have laser cutters, 3D printers, and all the modern stuff. And then you have a part we call interaction, because all our students are sitting the whole day, and I think we should activate them. And there are also a lot of digital tools how to activate students, and I want to show you some of them. So let's start with media space. So this is just theory. If you are interested, I can translate it to you. You see, this is media space, and this all fits to media space. Podcast, you know, you all, I'm sure a lot of you made podcast, right? No one? Yes, sure. Yes, perfect. Green screen, VR, social media, stop motion. I'm sure you know a lot of them. The next part is makerspace. I told you laser cutter, 3D printer, 3D scanner, robotic, and so on and so on. And the last part is motion. So let's start with media space. We start with this. Okay, this is a first possibility. Did ever one of you knows or use green screen? Your daughter, I'm happy, thanks. Anyone else? You sure? Yes, yes. Okay, do you know what is a green screen? Yes, okay, perfect. So this is a small version for children from kindergarten to primary school, that they learn what is reality and what is fake. And you can do it perfectly with green screen. So this is a green screen box you see there on the left side. It's a product from Holland, Dutch, yeah, Netherlands, yes, right. And they work with all primary schools and all kindergartens with it. And you put your iPad in front of it, here, like this. And you put your pieces there, and you have, I'm very tall, but you have stones like this, green stones, where you put the pieces on, and then you see it on top of it. Oh, maybe I have to go back. So here are the pieces in the green area, and then you change the background, and then the dinos are in their original jungle or forest. So you see the young people love to play with it, and they have so many ideas. If you give them the green screen box, they do it by themselves. We made Xaver told you at the beginning, my company normally produce school films, and we make a nice school film about green screen, and the students in this film make so nice things. If you are interested, I can show it later. I think it's no time to. No, I think we shouldn't do.
Let's just jump over it.
Yes. Yeah. So the next point of media space is one other thing. Maybe you have heard about Kamishibai. It's also for the small children. It's really lovely. Kamishibai is original from Japan, and it's a wooden theater. You can see there's a theater, and you open it, and then you have cards inside. And maybe you can show the interactive. Yeah, you also can show a small version. Maybe later, yes. Maybe you can open it. So you have cards inside, and the teacher stands in front of the class and opens the theater, and presents a card. And he puts one card out and tell a story to the pictures. And all students are sitting there. It's much better than a film, much better than YouTube, much better than anything else. And if you are a really good prepared teacher, you also have a little bit sound in the background or water or something, ring-a-ling-ling, and you can tell a story and the students love it. And the next step is that the students paint their own pictures. They should become creative. And the next step is that the students present their own story. So we have demonstrations, so it's really interaction, and it's really media literacy. That's what we want to teach. And they really have fun to make it. So let's have a look inside.
I must try where I can open the external link. Oh no.
Nee, kannst du den Link anklicken?
I was trying. Oh yeah.
So this is the pictures. I think they are around about 15 pictures in one set. It's a whole story. This is about a poor lion who have problems with his teeth, and a small mouse can help him because he's a doctor. But let's have a look if it works.
The text oder nächste?
Was?
Text oder nächste Seite? Text oder nächste Seite?
Na, ich möchte den Link aufhaben. Geht der nicht auf?
Das ist ja der Link. Zur Präsentation zurück.
Ja. Nein, ich möchte die verschiedenen Bilder sehen. Du hast das doch auf Englisch, oder?
Ja, das ist der Text.
You should see that one. Is it
this one? Yeah. Das ist der Text.
Du hast doch die einzelnen Karten. Du hast doch die Karten. Here's a different picture.
Oh, sorry. I thought I opened it on the... I wanted to open this link on the screen.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, this was what I wanted to show.
So please go to page 1.
We start with page 1. Sorry.
So this is page 1. Normally you shouldn't present it digital because you have this theater, this wooden theater that makes more fun, but this is the first page. So this girl is on a Fasching, maybe? Yes, I know. The word for Fasching in Hungary is Farsang. Is it right? Yes, okay. So they have Farsang. It's a special time also in Germany, but it's totally different in Germany because here you have, I think, masks, which looks a little bit dangerous. And in Germany, you can change your clothes. You can become a lion or a tooth or a cowboy or a princess or something like this. You wear the whole weekend funny clothes. And in Germany, cars run through the streets and sing songs and make music. And the small children are standing there and they throw bonbons from the car to the children. So I have some bonbons here. I will not throw, I will give you one, one for you. So this is typical, you get a lot of bonbons. At the end of the week, you have a whole baggage full of bonbons, and that's not really good for the teeth. Okay, so that's the beginning of the story. So let's go to the next page. Yeah, she said, oh, you shouldn't eat this bonbon with your teeth. Next page. I just go through the first 3 pages and you understand. So there are, I will tell you a story this girl said to the small people. There are 3 friends in Africa and they played the whole day hide and seek. The zebra is not very good in hiding, you see. But then, one time, they hear a crazy sound. Let's look. Wow! Wow! Somebody is crying in the jungle. And you see the zebra and the other friend are running away, and the mouse looks around the corner and saw this lion there. And then she went to the lion. I'm a doctor. Can I help you? Let me see. Next picture, maybe make it a little bit slowly, faster. Oh, yes, we really have a problem. You eat maybe too much bonbons, so next picture. But I can help you. Don't be sad. I will help you. So I will ask for my friends. And the friends are coming, and you see how they help. And next page. Okay, and so on. So this is the story. I'm sure you want to see the end, but we will not give it. And if the teacher is there and explain all the pictures, the students get ideas and they saw something else in the picture. Oh, there's this and there's this. So I think it's a good possibility to activate children and to force media literacy. Let me look if it works now. Perfect. So this is Kamishibai. It's original from Japan. There, guys drives through the country by bicycle and presents the stories because he wants to sell something. And when he presents the stories, all people come and then he can sell his stuff or something, sweets or something else. So this is original, and then it transfers to different countries, for example, to Germany. And in all media centers in Germany, I told you we have 500, they have a lot of these cards. I think 300, 400, 500, and a lot of them are for religious themes, for example, St. Martin or Christmas or something like this. And they all have history stories about this, and they are really nice. This history was painted by a friend of ours. He was a painter and painted all by hand, so this is really a lot of work. So now I want to connect this Kamishibai with Makerspace. We jumped to space, and Johannes have a small makerspace. I think we printed it with a 3D printer and laser cutted it with a laser cutter. And inside you can put a postcard or some pictures. And I think this color fits perfect to you, and so it's a gift for you. So this is a connection. If you want to build it by yourself, there's an instruction, and you can get this presentation later if you want. So let's go to the next. So now we change to the next stage, AR and VR. You saw it's a t-shirt I wear. Have you ever seen this t-shirt? No? You can scan with your iPhone or iPad this t-shirt if you have an app, and then something happened. Yes, you can see inside my body. And you can see all the, I don't know, the lever and the lung and all the things, and you can touch and open it and look inside, and you see the heart bumping. You can try it later because I have the app on my iPhone. So that's really nice for children. So they learned a lot of all things inside your body, but more interactive, more virtual. Okay. So this is just another thing. You can see only a little bit of this. This is a virtual orchestra. We produce films where you go inside an orchestra and film the musicians, and you can go, if you have VR glasses, you can go directly to the violin or directly to the piano and hear the sound of the piano just and hear the sound of this, and that's so nice. And a lot of young people have no chance to go into an opera or something like this, but with these glasses you can enjoy a lot of music and hear it in a different way. You can go to the man in the front and see him directly in his eyes. So that's really a nice interaction. So now we go directly to a makerspace. This is a very small makerspace. It's from Denmark. It's just a cube where students can build their own makerspace inside. And they can use this cube on totally different ways. You see on the left side in the ground, these are all makerspaces built up by students. And the cube is just a little bit wood. You see it on the right side down. And up there you can see what you can do. You can make different works, you can make a green screen box, you can build up some technical things. So it's a nice thing to prepare in a small room. And often it's better to have a small space than a big table. And children love this, and I love this, the idea from Denmark. So next page. So now we are in the part of coding. We have just a few of examples. Do you know any of this example? Have you ever seen one of these? Maybe, Anna, you know some of them, or all of them? A couple of them. Yes, they also. So mostly you know maybe bee bots. These are the small bees here. When I traveled to Estonia and visited the primary schools there, in every primary school you found these bee bots. And it's totally normal to use these bee bots to program. Just go 3 steps forward, turn around, three steps to the side or to left, or doesn't matter. And they learn to program very simple and in an easy way. And I think this is really a good first step to use. This is blue bot, but bee bots are like the same. They look yellow. So one of my favorites is on the left side. Johannes, please, can you see? This is a very small ball, and you can program it very easily if you take your iPad and you paint a way. Then he will run this way on the ground. This is the easiest way. A step more is to program it with Blockly. You see it on the left. It's a language which is, maybe you also use it because here are some of the technology studios, so you know Blockly for sure. And if you go one step higher, you can program it with Python. Is it right, Gottfried? Python? Yeah. Okay. So you can get information from this ball, the tempo he runs. So you can make a lot of things with it if you go higher in the classes. You can start with a small one, just running around, and go higher and higher and higher. So this is my favorite now, but I'm not sure next time will be maybe Otto on the right side, my favorite, because Otto you can print by yourself in a 3D printer. You get a set and then you build it by yourself. So it's again a combination to make something by yourself and then use it like a robot. Okay, next page. This is also a thing you know everywhere in the producing companies. Cars will build by this, and medicine uses robot arms. And when we present this on a fee in Germany, on the biggest educational fee in Germany, people come to us and say, if your students know how to program this, we will take them all. So if you prepare the students for the future, they should learn to use robot arms, to program robot arms. And you can start also very easy. You can take the arm, put it on this place, said, okay, this is the first position. Put it on that place, teach in, and put it on that place, and then you program it very simple. But you also can program it very professional when you are at the university. So that's maybe an idea to do something with robot arms. Okay, next one. This is another favorite of mine. This is a small AI dog. And you can speak with him. Maybe he can speak with us.
It's getting very interesting whether the sound works. It's 2 out of 3 it works. We hope we are.
Maybe you understand me not. He speaks 140 languages, so you can speak with him. He's running around like a real dog. If you don't pay attention, he touches you and says, hello. You can program it, also with Blockly, also with Python. And you can make a lot of funny things with it. And inside is ChatGPT, so he reacts to everything you said. And he becomes wiser and wiser. And it's really a little bit crazy. But if you are interested, we can show you more of this. Okay.
Okay, this last one.
So, and now we are still at the end. I want to show you a product where the students can move a little bit. This is a projector here inside. It's a normal Epson beamer. It's a box, you bring it into the kindergarten or into the primary school. There are wheels on it and the end, and then you present to the wall or to the ground. And the people can work with a pencil to make jobs there, to count, to paint, to write. You can do everything. Or they can use balls and throw it to the wall or to the ground and do their jobs, which they have to do. And there are a lot of planets, where we call it planets, so there are a lot of possibilities to interact with it. Sometimes you have to do some exercises or something like this. So it's to bring more action into the classroom because we have not enough sport, I think. Okay, I'm sure we are quite... Yes, thank
Again,
you.
The dog
And
appears.
kommt noch was? Yeah.
Yes, we also trained the dog to say,
Köszönjük szépen a figyelmüket.
Okay, thanks a lot for your time. If you have any questions, we are here 2 days, we 3, and you can ask us everything. Okay, thanks a lot.
Wir danken Ihnen herzlich für diese sehr interessante Präsentation.
Köszönöm szépen.
And it's my great pleasure to honor to introduce our distinguished speaker, Judith Garancier, who is board member of the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions Regional Division Europe, and she is Director General of National Association Library. The title of her talk is Libraries in the Age of Artificial Intelligence, Attitudes, Competencies, and New Roles in Supporting Education. Please.
Az Agria Média. Itt lesz prezentál, de itt is működik. Jó. És akkor jobbra van a nyilván. Jó, oké. És akkor nézem mutatót, csak az
Jó, szuper. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my special thanks for the invitation and for the opportunity to be here and to give a presentation. I think about a really important topic. My field of science is library and information science, and I would like to talk about libraries in the age of artificial intelligence, attitudes, competencies, and new roles of libraries in supporting education. I just would like to ask a small request from the moderator, because I think I have more slides than allowed. So I'm trying to fit in the time, and I will do my best to tell what I have about, but I would be grateful to indicate me. Okay, first of all, I would like to show you what I'm going to cover, or what I would like to cover during this presentation. You can see that, first of all, I would like to talk a bit about the labor market trends and the competencies, the new competencies which are needed. I think we have heard some of them in the previous presentations, but I would like to tell some information about these as well. Then I would like to talk about the new roles of libraries and librarians, and I would like to give a very important attention to the role of libraries supporting education. Then some words about librarians, technology, acceptance, and last but not least, hopefully we are going to have a little time for that, I would like to show you some best practices from all around the world, but I have a special country, because some weeks ago I managed to participate in the Chinese Library Association annual meeting, and I could visit some libraries in China, so I would like to show you some examples how the Chinese libraries support education concerning the new technologies. Okay, so first of all, I would like to talk a bit why I think that this topic is really important to talk. The labor market is going through a fundamental transformation driven by emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. Routine and repetitive tasks are increasingly automated, while new types of jobs demand higher level digital and cognitive skills. At the same time, AI itself is reshaping how libraries operate, from knowledge organization and retrieval to user interaction and personalized services. This means that libraries are no longer just repositories of information and knowledge, but active participants in the digital ecosystem. Their success in this transformation largely depends on librarians' technological attitudes and the digital competencies. And finally, the rise of AI also has a direct impact on education, we can see, and it changes how people learn, how knowledge is accessed, and how information literacy is developed. Let's see the first point of my presentation. This is the labor market trends and the 21st century competencies. I would like to start with a really important fact that when we are talking about the 21st century labor market, I think it can be characterized by the rapid technological change, the digital transformation, and there is a shift concerning the new competencies which are needed. And if somebody would like to be successful on the labor market in the 21st century, he or she has to have a combination of digital, competitive, social, and emotional competencies. So when we are talking about the labor market and the new competencies, we have to highlight that lifelong learning, upskilling, reskilling are really, really important, and in that sense, the libraries have a key role. I would like to mention a book. I'm sure that all of you are familiar with this. The author is Harari, and the book is the 21st Lessons for the 21st Century. And he claimed in that book that at present we are unable to tell and how the labor market is going to look like in 2050, and we don't know what kind of competencies will be needed in the future. So I think it's really important to talk about that question, that if you would like to give an advice, for example, for your children, your grandchildren, what kind of job they should choose in the future, it's really difficult to tell because everything is changing very quickly. What we see that the new technologies, machine learning, AI, and robotics have a really, really big impact on the different professions. So when we are talking about libraries and library and information science, it is true in that field as well. And I would like to mention some official documents which can be important in that respect. This is the Future of Jobs report, and in that report you can read that by 2030 AI is expected to transform the operations of 96% of companies. It's a really important data. And the employers expect that 39% of key competencies will change by 2030. And the next slide, it's quite interesting. I don't know how much you can read and you can see from the slide. It is from this report, because when I was listening to the first presentation, it was very interesting to see that critical thinking, it was on the top of the list. It is also can be found in the first list, but if you look at what kind of competencies are needed within 5 years, AI is the top competence. So AI, big data, networks, cybersecurity, and the technological literacy. So that's why it's really important to learn, develop our competencies, and again, the libraries can have a very important role here. I would like to mention two more documents. One of them is a report, McKinsey & Company report. And in that document, we can read that many organizations all around the world are adopting artificial intelligence as a daily operation, but only a small proportion of these companies have reached the technological maturity. So it means that learning, education, it's really, really important. And we also have to see that are there any competencies which cannot be replaced by AI? And there are really important ones. For example, creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence are really important in the 21st century, and we also have to develop these skills as well. Okay, and then I would like to tell you some words about what I see and what I think about libraries and librarians' new roles concerning the trends in the 21st century. What we can see and what we have to see that the libraries and librarians have to redefine themselves, their roles, their functions, their identities. And what is the most important thing for libraries and librarians in the 21st century? The users. So they are in the middle of our universe, and the changing needs of the users can help our work and how we can maintain and find out new services. So if somebody asks a question, how a 21st century library look like, I usually say that the library guided by the community needs is the 21st century library. With the help of the next slide, you can see some information about the future technology trends. And I highlighted those which I think really important concerning the libraries. So 3D printing, we could see some really important examples, robotics, drones, the green technologies, artificial intelligence, digitalization, and so on and so on. So what is important? So we can see that the labor market is changing, a lot of new competencies are needed, and I think that the libraries have a really important role in the education process. So we can say that the learning supporting and quality of life improving role of the library is undeniable and unquestionable in the 21st century. And we can also say and also look at the role of the user. I have mentioned that they are in the middle of our universe, and we have to help them and we have to support them in their personal life. So education is one of that field. And I don't know how much you agree with this statement, but what I see now that when we are talking about the user, it's not looking for there and not that way that the librarian thinks. So it means that we have to change our mind and we have to have a really, really important dialogue with the users to see what they would like to get from the library. And it is also important to mention that when we are talking about librarians, we are very super librarians, and also when we are talking about the users, they are super users, but education and training is really important in both cases, and again, the library can have a very important role. And I would like to mention two international organizations concerning the library field. One of them is IFLA. It is important to know that there is a new trend report concerning IFLA, and in that report, it is worth examining how the new technologies are appearing And in that sense, I would like to recommend very, very important articles written by Ms. Tünde and Loureiro. So it is worth examining because you could see with the help of the article and also with the help of the report that how much the new technologies appear in the trend report, and we can see that it is becoming more and more important. So AI, the new technologies, the skills, and so on. And I would like to mention one more institution concerning library organizations in an international way. This is EBLIDA. This is the European organization, and also if you look at the strategy of EBLIDA, you can see that in the among the strategic pillars, you can find digital transformation, digital skills, and the potential use of AI. And it is also worth examining the new roles of libraries in supporting education. I think with the help of the previous presentations, we could also see that education in the 21st century is undergoing a profound transformation. Education is becoming more digital, more interactive, and more personalized. And again, I would like to highlight that the libraries and the librarians can have a very important role here. You can see that what kind of tasks and roles can have a library concerning supporting education. It can be a bridge between the traditional pedagogy and the innovative learning practices. Also, we can provide a space for supporting learning. We can provide and create materials. We can give access to databases. So we can have a lot of opportunities to support education. And also I would like to mention some key dimensions of the educational support of libraries. So library can be a third place after home and school. The librarians can work as educators. We are also very important partners for schools, universities, and so on, and we can support lifelong learning. And I would like to mention a European project as well. This is Europe's Digital Decade 2030. I don't know how much is a dream or can it be realized, but the European Union would like to reach that by 2030, at least 90% of the EU population is going to have the basic digital skills. I do hope that it is going to be possible. And also, I would like to mention another document. I have mentioned IFLA, I have mentioned EBLIDA, and I would like to mention the American Library Association. They also published an important document. This is a State of America's Libraries report. It was published last year. And with the help of the slide, you can see what they think about the roles of libraries in the 21st century. And I just would like to describe some of them and only highlight some of the point. So ensuring access to information is a really important task. So libraries have a key responsibility in introducing and teaching new technologies throughout training and education. Also, I would like to mention that the libraries integrate their services into their daily work, the new technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality. For example, there are examples in libraries. If you wear the VR, you can find the books with the help of some maps. So the collection and the new technology can be created and connected in that way. And also the libraries and librarians can have an important role in bridging the digital gap, and also the libraries can serve as a gateway in participation in the digital society. So it is anticipated that the educational role of libraries will continue to strengthen supporting digital skills, creativity, inclusion across communities. And to summarize this point, I would like to tell that transformation of library roles, the introduction of new, for example, AI technologies, equips libraries with new functions, enabling them to operate not only as learning environment, but also as innovation hubs. And I would like to talk a little bit about the librarians' technology adoption and the development of digital literacy. And I would like to start two important questions. We don't have time now to answer these questions, but it's important to think about this. So are we, as librarians, ready to guide the next generation in an AI-driven world? And how ready are librarians ready to adopt new technologies? So we can see that artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, the digital platforms are part of our personal life, both the librarians and the citizens. And it's really important that if we would like to train and guide the users in an efficient way, we have to have confidence, openness, and we have to have the competencies. I think that technology adoption among librarians is not only about mastering tools. It is about cultivating a mindset of curiosity, flexibility, and continuous learning. A librarian who embraces innovation becomes or can become a role model for students, researchers, and citizens who seeks guidance in navigating the digital world. And when we are talking about how much the librarians are ready to use and what is their attitude towards the new technologies, we can find some surveys and we can see that the level of preparedness very, very different. So the continuous professional development of the librarians and the users are a key area in the 21st century. And why is it important to focus on the librarians' technology adoption? I would like to say that libraries' digital transformation depends on people, not just the infrastructure, and the technology acceptance influences the library innovations, and the bridging the digital gap starts with or can start with the librarians. And also, I would like to mention concerning this point that when librarians confidently use the tools, the users will become more willing to try them. The approach towards technology is often more important than the initial knowledge, and the degree of adoption influences how effectively the library can educate the community. And what I would like to also highlight with the help of the next slide, that how much the research important about the librarians' attitude and readiness to use the technology. So, for example, in the case of my studies, because when I was introduced, I would like to add one more important thing, that I'm a PhD student here at the university, and I'm very pleased that I can study here, and I'm dealing with this topic concerning my dissertation, so I'm going to realize a research concerning libraries, librarians, technology, acceptance, and so on. Okay, so when we are talking about libraries and librarians, what are the key competencies in the 21st century? We can mention digital literacy and AI awareness, creativity, adaptability, the green transition, sustainability, and supporting lifelong learning. And I would like to mention one more thing, that when we are talking about librarians, or also when we are talking about teachers, there is a way, or there is a method when we are thinking about that there is going to be any change in the name of the profession. Because if you look at the slide concerning librarians, we can have some other roles and other functions. So for example, we are working as a digital mentor, or a technology coach, a learning support specialist, a data curator, and so on and so on. So it means that we are a multiple function librarians in the 21st century. Okay, so hopefully I have a little more time to show you some examples from all around the world, how libraries and librarians can support education with the help of the new technologies. The first slide, just some examples from all around the world. For example, AI-powered chatbots and robots can be found in the US, machine translation in the European Parliament, predictive analytics, and the schools are using AI in Australia. Or also we can mention the British Library, where digitalization and AI connected in a very sufficient way. So let's see China and what can be found in that respect. And if you are open to an interactivity, I would like to show you some pictures, and if you can guess what you can see the picture, I would be really grateful. The first one is not going to be very difficult. So you can see some robots on the picture, but there is an odd one out. What do you think? So when we are talking about libraries, but what do you think when we are talking about odd one out concerning the picture? The middle one, because it is a vacuum cleaner. It is a robot, but it is a vacuum cleaner. It can be used in library as well, but in another function. Okay? What do you think? What can you see in the picture? We are, yes. And it's really important to mention that it is in a public library in China. And it was fantastic to see because they have not only one, but 5. And if you try this VR simulation, for example, you can go down into the ocean, you can see the animals, and you can get information about the atmosphere in the ocean. The next one is going to be very interesting. How you can combine sport and cultural activities. This is a VR stimulation exercise bike station. So it means that you are using the bike and you can read some books. So it is a fantastic combination. And it is again an example from one of the Chinese libraries. Also, you can find some examples for interactive digital lounge for creative learning and relaxation. So you can sit down, watch the films, listen to music, and so on. Another picture for this as well. And any guess about the next pictures? It's not easy to recognize, but... Sorry? Yes, yes, this is a catalog. It means that this is at the entrance of the library, and you can choose the book that you would like to use or read, and you can also choose that you would like to get it in a printed form or in online form. Fantastic. And the next one is an e-book reader in the library. Or you can also listen to the text as well, so it is combined. And I think that one is not really difficult. This is a cinema in the library. But the other one is a post box, but it means that if you are speaking to the box, you can send a postcard in an electronic form to somebody in email. Okay, the next one. I think you are familiar with these examples, but they are fantastic. So AI-powered holographic information assistant. And also you can see some other avatars and assistants. For example, they can help how to prepare for an interview. You can have different situations. or you can talk to an assistant who can recommend you some books, some journals, some articles, and so on. Okay, the next one, I'm sure that you will know what's that. Interactive writing and calligraphy corner. Okay, so the Chinese handwriting, it's not an easy thing, but you can try and learn how to do this. It was also very interesting to see that the Chinese libraries have avatars. A lot of them uses avatars, and on the other picture you can see that how the avatar is combined with the catalog, and they can, yes, thank you very much. Okay, so how they combine the avatar, the dialogue, and the catalog, so it is again fantastic. And last but not least, what do you think about that picture? It's not easy to recognize for the first time. So I help you. This is an AR-based interactive science corner. So it means that augmented reality, ebooks, the catalog, so they are connected, and also so you can read, you can listen to the documents, and also you can be personally in the atmosphere. Okay, so these were the pictures, and finally I would like to show you a video. It is very frustrating for the first time, but my question is, what do you think that, is there any possibility in the future that if you would like to go to a hairdresser, it is not going to be a human? So it is a reality. I was really, really amazed when we looked at this video. So it means that it can be possible that a robot will do our hair. So to summarize my presentation, I think that the 21st century library becomes a flexible, dynamic, and responsive institution capable of genuinely supporting people's lives in the changing world. The library is therefore not merely a survivor, but an active shaper of the present and the future. It is an institution which is capable of responding to challenges and even providing the direction for the users. And last but not least, I would like to tell you that the library of the 21st century, it's not the building full of books, but a dynamic hub of learning, innovation, and a community connection. Thank you very much for your attention.
Maybe one point more. In Germany, a lot of libraries integrate makerspaces. Yes.
Thank you very much for your insightful presentation, and my pleasure, my great pleasure to introduce our last speaker. She is Marti Domokos. She works for the European Council for Steiner Waldorf Education Brussels, and the title of her presentation is Analog and Digital, How to Find the Balance. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Tibor. And if I may, can I start with start my presentation? That would be lovely. Thank you. And jó, ez köszönöm szépen. Igen, van.
Melyik volt az?
Hermes. Okay. But the speaker before me already tried to kind of energize you, and I was thinking I have two things that I thought could be a good energizer, and one was just that you would sit and put up your hand. I'm sorry, you have to work hard now. Please stand up. We are going to build a sorting machine. Please stand up, all of you. Yeah. We will excuse our cameramen and photographers from this exercise, but please, the rest, just stand up. Also, also the speakers. Okay, you know the game Guess Who, don't you? It is when you sort out a certain amount of people in this case, and you try to find out who I have in my mind. Okay, oh, I haven't got anyone in my mind yet. Now I do, okay. And how many steps do you think it takes to sort out this amount of people? By the way, any amount of people. We did this with 200 people as well. How many steps will it take to come to that one person still standing? Just make a wild guess. 5, okay, a very good guess, yeah, okay. Okay, so last time I did it, it was 5, but it can be 6 to 7, and usually then you have to manage. So I will be the one who thought of someone, and you will be the one who guess. So please just start. What would be your first sorting question in this room with these people? The very obvious question, which of course in 2025 has some other relevance, but yes, please ask the question, is that person a man? That was the question, and I say to that it's not. So please, men, all of you, sit down. Oh, man, yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Then, so the preconception in my head about what men and women. I think this sorting machine is not working very well because I can't see everyone's shoes. Okay? So that's, please, another question. What color is their hair? I would only go for light and dark. So I will say, oh gosh, kind of mid. So if you think you have dark hair, really dark, or light hair, really light, then sit down. I will go for the mid-range, okay? So if you identify your hair as kind of mid, so darker than mine, or lighter than, I don't know, yours, then please sit down. Yeah, okay? Okay. Oh gosh, no, she didn't identify her, so you see, sorting machine is, yeah. Okay, then I don't think this question worked really well because I put that person into a mid-range. So if you think mid-range and yeah, oh, then we know it's you because of this, yeah. But this didn't work as well as I wanted to, but it's always difficult with a big room. But if the next question would have been something like, do they wear glasses? Then we would have reached in 5 steps, I think. So thank you for your cooperation in this. And now I can, could you turn this up, please? So then I will start with a poem about education. Because in my talk, I will talk about education for children and young people between the age of 0 and 18, 19. So the preschool, primary school, and secondary education. So the poem is called The Minister for Exams, and it's written by Brian Patton in 1996. He wrote this, and we used this in one of our books that we published, Assessment as Dialogue, with his kind permission. So, when I was a child, I sat an exam. This test was so simple, there was no way I could fail. Question 1. Describe the taste of the moon. It tastes like creation, I wrote. It has the flavor of starlight. Question 2. What color is love? Love is the color of the water a man lost in the desert finds, I wrote. Question 3. Why do snowflakes melt? I wrote, they melt because they fall onto the warm tongue of God. There were other questions. They were as simple. I described the grief of Adam when he was expelled from Eden. I wrote down the exact weight of an elephant's dream. Yet, today, many years later, For my living, I sweep the streets or clean out the toilets of the fat hotels. Why? Because I constantly failed my exams. Why? Well, let me set a test. Question 1. How large is a child's imagination? Question 2. How shallow is the soul of the Minister of Exams? So what is education? So is education solely equipping children and young people's mind with knowledge? Or is it also about shaping their ability to think, to wonder, to experience and explore, and act ethically in this very fastly developing complex world? Education offers pupils the painstaking, really painstaking and slow process by which healthy human communities, human understanding and insights are built. Education is also about interacting with peers, having conversations face to face, using your body. What happens to children and young people when in-person education is taken away? By simply being online or by being able to use digital devices or text does not imply that young people have the digital skills or the competencies to be confident and critical users of technology. So this was a bit my introduction, and sorry that I read that out. And let's see. I'm not going to do this. This was the other opener. Why am I here? I'm actually here because Mark West from UNESCO, who is an extremely good speaker, and my organization has been working with him now for a while, couldn't come, and he recommended us, my organization, which is the European Council for Steiner Waldorf Education, to come in his stead. I'm not going to do what Mark would have done here, but I would still like to draw your attention to this book, which is called An EdTech Tragedy, with a question mark. And please, it's really worth reading it. It is shaped in the form of a tragedy, like a theatrical tragedy. And Act 1 is about the hope of tech salvation, that it will solve everything in education. Act 2 is from promises to reality, because the UNESCO did a huge research into what happened in the COVID years when we had to move to tech. And the Interact is looking back to see ahead, what have we learned from this? And Act 3 is new direction for EdTech. So I really recommend you. There is also a talk on YouTube of a half an hour with Mark, who explains what's in the book. So I also, that if you don't have time to read those, 600 pages, then you could also do that. And what I want to show you here is the Hermes approach, which my organization with 11 others worked on. And Hermes stands for, we say Hermes and not Hermes because of the double M and because we don't want to be mixed up with them. Holistic education, resilience, and media maturity in educational setting. When we started out, I think we started thinking about this 5 years ago. And the whole idea was to move away from early tech to later and gradual tech use in schools and maybe kindergartens. When we started out, there was no discourse on using laptops in kindergarten or not. There was no discourse about smart home bans in schools. That did not exist at that point. You know, it came about a couple of years ago, this question rose of whether it's good smartphone use in schools or not, and now you see all these bans around the world. In our approach, it's important to know that we do not, I personally do not mind when, I mind the how. So how do you get to that point that when you give children digital tools, they are ready and able to use them? Okay, so this is not from our project. This is one of the universities that took part in a project. And it shows a bit our approach, which I don't want to go too deeply into, but the basic things are that, anyways, what is media education? And when you talk about that to parents or teachers, people's mind always jump to digital media. While we know it, and librarians know it, everyone, Makerspace knows it, it's not only digital media. So how do you start? So in our approach is based on indirect media education, which is done very often with analog tools, so telling stories, reading, singing, that's already media education. And that moves throughout the years into direct media education, which also might not always be digital. And the indirect gets a bit lower function in that. What we also do, set out to do, is this whole divide between schools and parents, or the home setting, I would rather say, school settings and home settings. So in our project, we had the home and the school and anywhere where children come taken into account when we built out what I will show you in a minute. Okay, so we were the coordinators of this project, but we had an early childhood international organizations, we had 2 universities, we had parents' organizations, and we had 2 schools and 2 pedagogical providers. What now we have ready, and what we did in the last 3 years and worked on this, is a curriculum, which is a framework curriculum, and it is adaptable to all kinds of school settings, guidelines, and community and culture guide, which is to work together, parents and teachers working together. And we have a background document where we explain things, and we are also giving trainings to teachers and parents, and talks and discussions. So first of all, what was the aim? This is from the guidelines. That we definitely, what we all agreed on is that we want to decrease digital risks and increase digital skills. So that's a kind of ground rule for us. And it should fit into a school context, because these things are, they have to, school context also includes parents. I have to emphasize that really often. Then you have, of course, your national and regional context, because schools are not just sitting there on their own. They have to answer to national and regional or even local policymakers. And of course, you have the global and European context. What the guidelines contain is what we thought, and our schools that we work with thought we would want to increase and develop, and what we would like to moderate and mature. I think the slides will be shared one day, so then you can look at it, and it's all on our website as well. So how we work with parents and teachers together, and that's with questions, because we can't tell them what to do. If you look at all this context, every school is different, every local or country context is different. Even the European and global context is changing. So we offer some questions, and they could work with those questions in their own schools. Once there is a kind of idea of what they want to do, then we have a curriculum. The curriculum is not at all prescriptive, just that you know that we cannot aim for, like, okay, all European schools will use this. That would be stupid. And some schools that we work with take out a little bit of it, some use a lot. What in our curriculum grid you can see is that it is mapped to the DigComp competence areas. And we even take part, because there was the digital competencies 2.2, but now there is a revision from the EU of it to 3.0, and we have even taken part in that revision with this material.
And as I told you already, it's for pupils from 0 to 18, and we broke down the curriculum to 3-year age groups, so 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and so on. But we always acknowledge within all our material that 1 6-year-old is not the same as the other. So these are flexible, so it's not that they have to be able to do certain things at a certain time. It's more recommendations. And the content is organized in 2 parts, and the one is the learning games. So what would we want to give to the children and young people at that age? Where would be good if they were at that age? And the other is the teaching strategies, so the how. As I told you already, it has a flexible use for many things, so it is a framework. And we also have practice examples. I will say a bit more about that because it ties so nicely to the makerspace as well. This is how it looks like. I think it's very overcrowded if you look at it like this. This is one age group. This is the 15 to 18-year-old age group, and you see those competence areas that I just mentioned to you from the DITComp, and you have on the top the learning aims and the teaching strategies at the bottom. When people want to print it, we always say do at least, I don't know, A2, just to make it legible. This is how it looks on the website, which is then searchable. So you can look at a certain age group, you can look at a certain area. So in this case, it's 0 to 3, analyzing, and there are ideas then of, you can just click on the what and the how, and below you can, and a little bit of the why. So there we describe why in that developmental phase of the child, this is good to do. And we give you practice examples. I'm not going into this, but this was just to kind of, then I rather look at this. Critical information and data literacy. So I highlighted in this slide a few things of what could be a learning game, at which age. So if you look at age 6 to 9, talk about the emotions and behaviors of characters in stories and begin to relate these to their own feelings and behaviors. This is for what they could be able to do by the end of this age group. And one example to work on this for the teachers is including some good quality books in the class library about dealing with worries and managing emotions. So we are very practical in here. And then, as I told you, there is the community and culture guide, which reflects more on the adults' use of digital media and their thoughts on that. So here comes in this whole idea also of how to use digital media at school. This is more the guidelines for a school. This is the practical things. Okay, we don't allow them to use their smartphones or whatever. That falls in this category. We also have some advice for parents. For example, how to control, how to get information, and what kind of tech to use to control tech for children. And also looking into how we, as adults, teachers and parents, use digital media and what kind of non-digital histories and experience we have. Then we come to the practice examples, which just fit it so well into the makerspace. I kind of remember, Johannes, you were at the All Digital Summit or not? Were you at the All Digital Summit this year in Malta? No, never mind. I will ask him later. But I saw the makerspace. Can you hear me that bad? Oh gosh, okay, I should have taken maybe the other microphone. But this is the, I don't want people to fall asleep because they can't hear me, you know. Okay, so one such example that I just grabbed out of all our Unplugged, because we also work with the organizations Computer Science Unplugged, how you can do computer science in an unplugged way. And our curriculum and the practice examples really build up. There are so many things. Really, it was amazing to me and to so many people that we work with, that there is an unplugged beginning of certain things that children will do later in the digital world. So this is the social media unplugged, and it's called Visualizing Social Networks with a Ball of Wool. And it's amazing, kids love it. We do this in classes with them. And I highlighted which areas of competencies it helps develop and for which age group it is. We also use, just as you know, the Kamishibai. We use it a lot. And the graduality in there is, for us, I used to be also for some years in the Netherlands a librarian, so that's very nice fitting into this whole librarian thing. But Kamishibai we use for the little ones, we just read to them with the Kamishibai. Later, the, let's say, first years of the primary school, they often draw, or even bigger children also draw those pictures and tell a story to the small ones. And I'm really curious about, I haven't seen this interactive one yet, so I will look into that. Okay. And here I have some photos of some other ones. So if you can see it in the left corner, that's my colleague, Professor Dr. Paula Blackman from Alanus University, who is making a flipbook. Maybe you did that as a child. I did, in the corner of my textbooks, this little where you can just, you know, with your finger, just do like this and the pictures run. Then the leaves are solar photography, which is also very interesting to do. Then you have that one, the third one there. That is, of course, again with the makerspace. So that is they make little films. Yes. And on the right, you have the Turing Tumble. I don't know if any of you knew that, but the Turing Tumble is an incredible thing. We have a wooden version of that as well, but this you can just buy on the internet, and it has a lot to do with binary systems and how you code computers. And that's what actually my colleague from the Freie Hochschule in Germany is doing below there, is working on the binary coding. He also uses this machine a lot. And that is on the right is again binary coding, where they weave something with, for which they wrote a binary code. Okay, then I think just to wake you up, and because you couldn't really hear me, we are going to do a trick. I'm going to do the trick. You don't have to be very active, but I would like someone to come and help me. I would like a lovely assistant, as all magicians do. And you don't have to do a lot. You have to kind of just show cards, which I have here. So if there is no volunteer, then I'm going to volunteer a lovely assistant. Just stand here. And I would like to ask you, Tünde, to think of a number between 1 and 31. Please do not tell us that number. It doesn't have to be. So just close your eyes, think of a number, and kind of try to beam it to me, that number. Okay, ready? Okay. Now I will ask you to tell me whether that number is on one of the cards. So I will ask you, is the number on this card? And you say yes or no. Okay. Is that number on this card? There are 5 cards. Is that number on this card? Is the number that you thought of, is that on this card? No, it's not. Please? Is it on this one? Okay, no, that's absolutely fine. But is it on this one? Okay, but there is, yes, this was number 3 or 4. I'm losing it. 3. Then, okay, then the next one. Please. Is it on this one? Okay. And then we have the last one. Is it on this one? Okay, then it's 21. Okay. Oh, I should have done, sorry. I didn't do the little, oh, let's see. To your mind. I didn't do that. I'm sorry for that. We can do this endlessly, so if anyone wants to test that I did not discuss before it with Tünde that we are going to do that, and I think you are all media experts that you might have an inkling that this also has something to do with binary coding. But it's a fail-safe thing, it never fails, just that you know. Okay. Then we also offer training opportunities, and we are now closely working with some teacher training institutes who want to work with this material, but we also have them what we call the Hermes Learning Journey, which is you can do online just on your own as an asynchronous journey, so that you just it's built up in a way so things lead to other things if you are doing it yourself. However, on the 4th of November, we will start a synchronous one where we have online meetings between the home learning. So that's that. The parents training, we do a lot. We work a lot with parents. We give webinars and also live trainings, but we are a European organization and we would like to reach as many people. We have lots of people also from beyond Europe who join these opportunities, online opportunities. And then we have a bigger training, which is the ambassador training. Yeah, how many minutes? Yeah, okay, thank you. So the ambassador training, which is a train-the-trainer training, actually. So it takes 15 months, but then you can be the person who helps schools in your own little setting or bigger setting or even country setting. So if any of you are interested in that, then you are very welcome. And let's see that I haven't, okay. Who finds this kind of approach where you weave analog so much into your work that lead towards digital? Just, if you find that interesting, then just reach out to us. I will give you the website in a moment. And I was so worried that I would go over the time that I didn't tell you. There are a lot of things that I haven't told you, but if you're interested, we can still do that together. I will only join you for lunch today. And then I think I might just close it ahead of my time because I was so strict with myself that I can't do anymore because I usually run out of time. So then I would like to finish with another quote, which is from Alvin Toffler. I don't know if that name says, okay, yes, a great futurist of the 20th century who said 50 years ago, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. I'm going to do it. I have this habit of short quotes. I do twice because it might sink in better. So please bear with me. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And thank you.
Thank you very much for your excellent talk, and this concludes our plenary session. So we would like to thank you very much for your kind attention. Yes, and please note, we have a side saying train or bus, I can't see which one is. When you exiting the building, you have to turn left, and this train, bus, something will be at the bus station. So we can get to the place of the lunch and the afternoon sessions with this tourist bus. Thank you very much. Thank you.